Well, recognition is a strange business. It's rather complex. It's also rather simple in strange sort of ways. But ultimately, what it means is that you can't accidentally recognize a country. So what we can see is Serbia effectively, when the EU talks about de facto recognition, is in many ways Serbia already de facto recognizes Kosovo. I mean, I think that much is clear, and it has been for a very long time. But what we really need to see, and which I think most would say is the ultimate end goal, is formal recognition. I think President Vucic has said that that's off the table. It is for the moment. But even within that concept of de facto recognition, there's a number of different things that we can talk about. So recognizing diplomas and things issued by the Kosovo government, yes, that's a form of recognition, but it's a fairly low level form of recognition. What I think is becoming very problematic is the argument that Serbia should allow Kosovo to join the United Nations, even though it doesn't recognize it. And I think that, this is a bit of an odd position for the European Union, or certainly EU member states, to put forward, because I mean, it's just completely unrealistic to expect a country to do that. I mean, effectively, what Serbia will be saying is, we will let Kosovo join the United Nations. There'll be a big party. Kosovo will suddenly be a member of the United Nations. It'll sit in the hall of the General Assembly. It could even be elected to Security Council. But we will be the one country in the world that doesn't recognize it. And I mean, that would be a very, very uncomfortable position for Serbia to be in. So to my mind, it's never made any sense to argue for that sort of de facto recognition, as some have done. I think that, really we need to be ending up with an overall settlement, and that will be the final stage where Kosovo will join the United Nations. But before then, yes, there's certainly a lot that Serbia can do to de facto recognize, and in fact has already done so. Well, I mean, it's quite clearly a highly provocative act, and we know that. And this is why there's been so much criticism of Albin Kurti for sending in the Kosovo Special Forces to do that. And one would hope that as part of a settlement, that in fact there would be arrangements for autonomous policing. We have this in many countries around the world. I'm from the United Kingdom. It's the case that different parts of the United Kingdom have their own police forces. The most important thing is border control. So it's making sure that illegal goods aren't being brought across, and that will require a degree of cooperation. But you don't usually put border management within sort of autonomy arrangements. Border management in most countries is a central government competence. So that would probably be something that the Serbs in Kosovo will have to talk to Pristina about. But essentially, the internal autonomous policing that can exist in the north certainly could be something that could be discussed in all this. But even if that's just a question of keeping Kosovo police there, with representation from Serbs, as you say, it seems unnecessary to have large numbers of these special police units in there, which I think most people would regard as being a provocative act. And hopefully, if you could see the creation of an association, if you could see meaningful autonomy put in place, then the need for that obviously diminishes. The risk of violence is substantially withdrawn and drops. So I think that would be the hope, and surely I think will be part of the discussions.